Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shashidhar from Bennett University. In this video tutorial, I will teach you about Solidity programming. So we know Solidity programming is used to write the smart contracts, right? So the smart contracts can be deployed in the blockchain network. So with help of the Solidity programming language, so we can develop the Ethereum smart contracts. Okay, so here in Solidity, we're going to use the syntax, so that is almost similar to C++. So here Solidity programming is high level programming language that is based on the objects, so like it is also a object oriented programming. The syntax of Solidity programming is similar to C++ and JavaScript. Now we will see how to develop the smart contracts using Solidity programming. Here we have a simple program. Okay, so in order to display the hello world, here we have a Solidity code. Okay, so here you can see the first line, pragma Solidity. So pragma is a keyword in Solidity which instructs the compiler, Solidity compiler, like which version we are going to use here. Okay, the pragma statement tells the compiler, Solidity compiler, about the version of the compiler. So in this program we are going to use the version 0.6.0. Next we have a contract called hello world. Like classes in Java, here we have a contract in order to define the contracts. So here contract is a keyword and name of the contract, that is user defined. Okay, so here hello world is the contract name. Yes, within the contract we have defined a function. So how to define the function? We need a function keyword. After that, a function name. The function name is hello world. Okay, so in this function there is no arguments. Okay, after that, the access specifier we have used external. Okay, so the function type pure function which returns string data type. Right. So here in Solidity we have two types of function. One is pure function and view function. Whenever we are using view function along with the function definition, then we cannot read read the state variable within the function. Whenever you are using pure function along with the function definition, then we cannot read the state variables and we cannot modify the state variables. Okay, so the state variables is nothing but the variables defined after the contract. So in the contract scope we are defining the state variables. Okay, so in this program we are trying to write a string, that is hello world. Now we are familiar with like what is the syntax. First one will be the pragma statement. After that, contract keyword and the contract name we need to define. Within the contract we can define the variables and the functions. This is one of the simple Solidity contract. This can be deployed into the Ethereum blockchain network. In the next slide, we will see the different data types used in Solidity. Yeah, like other programming languages, we have Solidity data types. Like we have a Boolean, integers, and strings and address. So these are the data types. So we know that data type indicates which type of a data that particular variable holds. First data type is Boolean data type. There are two possibles for Boolean data types, like true or false. The keyword we are going to represent the Boolean data types in Solidity is bool. Similarly, we have integers. So we can use the integer data types. It may be the signed integers or unsigned integers of various sizes. The keywords can be used like int and unsigned integer. Here we have defined a contract, the contract name called mySample. So within the contract we declared a variable called x that belongs to unsigned integer, and we have initialized the variable to 50, that is unsigned x is equal to 50. Well, in the next slide you can see that the address. Okay, address is a data type in Solidity programming. The keyword we are going to use address in order to represent the address data type. Okay, here address is holds a 20-byte value. So this is size of an Ethereum address, and also address types have members. Okay, and serves as a base for all contracts. Now we can see that what are the members of addresses. So we have two members in the address data type. One is balance and transfer. Okay, what is mean by balance number? We will be having some address, hexadecimal address, Okay, so for that particular address, we can query the balance, like what is the balance of that particular address, that we can find using member, that is balance member. Next we have transfer. If you want to transfer the ethers from one wallet address to the another wallet address, we can use the transfer function, right? It is possible to query the balance of an address using the property that is balance, and it is also possible to send the ethers to an address using the function called transfer. Here we can see that we have a first line, like we have used the data type called address, then we have defined a declared a variable x. Okay, so then we have initialized, the x is initialized with some address, okay, hexadecimal address 0x123. In the second line you can see that one more data type, there is address data type we have used, and the variable we have declared, the variable name is my address, and it is initialized to this. Now here we have two addresses, like two variables, x and my address. Okay, you can see the third line. Okay, so we are writing a statement. Okay, so if x dot balance is less than 10 and my address dot balance is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, so like we are querying the balance using the balance member called balance, right? We're trying to find the balance of x. If it is less than 10, okay, so then with help of my address we are transferring the ethers. So you can see the next statement, x dot transfer. So you can see that x dot transfer, like we are transferring the 10 ethers to the address, okay, for a variable x from my address. That is the meaning. Okay, so this is the address. Address is very important in Solidity programming. Okay, so because with help of the addresses only we are going to deploy the contract into Ethereum blockchain network. Next we have a data type called strings. Like other programming languages, in Solidity also we can use the strings. The strings can be represented in double quotes or a single quotes in Solidity programming. Here you can see the simple declaration, like string. We have declared the string variable called language. It is initialized to Solidity. Okay, so the thing you need to remember, whenever you are using the strings in Solidity, whether you can use the double quote or single quote. So next topic we have storage locations in Solidity. So like we have different types of functions, different types of variables in Solidity programming. So where is the storage? Like where we need to store the variables? Okay, that is storage locations. In order to do that, Solidity provides few keywords in order to store the variables. Okay, so like first we have a storage. Okay, so in this storage location, all the contract state variables reside. So here we can store all the contract state variable. Every contract has its own storage and it is persistent between function call. Second storage location we have memory. So memory holds temporary values and gets erased between function calls, and it is cheaper to use. And one more storage location we have, like stack. Stack holds small local variables and is almost free to use, but can only hold a limited amounts of values in stack memory. In the next slide we can see that now what are the operators are available. Like other programming languages like C, C++, Java, Solidity also supports for operator. The Solidity has four types of operator. The classification of operators in Solidity, like arithmetic operators, incremental operators, bitwise operators, and logical operators. Okay, so here you can see that arithmetic operators in Solidity. If you want to perform the addition, the notation is x plus y. If you want to perform the subtraction, the notation is x minus y. If you want to perform the multiplication, the notation is x star y. A division, x by y, and it is possible to find the modulus or remainder. So x modulus y. Okay, so everything is similar to other programming languages, but here you need to remember one thing whenever you are using the exponent operator. So here is the exponent operator. If you want to declare a variable x that belongs to the unsigned integer, if you want to write the 10 to the power of 3, so this is the notation 10, then two asterisk symbols like two stars, then 3. So which means x is equal to 10 to the power of 3. So this is the notation used in Solidity programming language in order to represent the exponential values. So in the next slide, we have incremental and bitwise operators. The Solidity supports for incremental operators like post increment, that is a plus plus, and a pre increment plus plus a, and shorthand operators like a plus is equal to 1, a is equal to a plus 1. So not only for incremental operators, Solidity also supports for decremental operators like a minus minus, minus minus a, that is pre-decrement, post-decrement. Okay, even shortened operators also available in Solidity in order to represent the decremental operators. Here is the Solidity bitwise operators. We have bitwise OR, bitwise AND, bitwise negation, bitwise right shift, and bitwise left shift. So like other programming languages, in Solidity also we can use bitwise operators. Here is the logical operators in the Solidity. Logical negation we can use, logical AND we can use, logical OR, equality, and not equal. These are the logical operators. Okay, so next we have a keywords. Solidity keywords. So we know the definition of keyword. Keyword is a reserved word. It will be having a fixed purpose and its fixed meaning. The meaning of keyword is cannot be changed, right? So the meaning is reserved to some particular purpose. So reserved keywords in Solidity, like we have abstract, auto, default, implements. So many are there. So whenever we are using in our smart contract, then we will explore that particular keyword. So these are the list of keywords for Solidity. Next we have comments. Okay, so like other programming languages, in Solidity we have a single line comment and multi-line comment. So you can see the first line. So what is meant by single line comment? So any text between two forward slashes at the end of a line is treated as a comment. That is single line comment. So it is ignored by the Solidity compiler. Next, multi-line comment. Any text between the characters forward slash star and star forward slash is treated as a multi-line comment. So this may span multiple lines so that the Solidity compiler will ignore that. Okay, so we have next concept like Solidity variables. Like the question is, what are the variables we can use with the Solidity? Solidity programming supports three types of variables like state variables, local variables, global variables. So what is meant by state variables? Variables whose values are permanently stored in a contract storage. So like the variables were defining and declaring after the contract name in the contract scope, that variables will be treated as state variables. Next, we have local variables. Variables whose values are present till function is executing. So like the variables we're going to define within the function. Okay, so we're going to write some functions in the Solidity. The variables which are defined and declared within the function, the variables is known as local variable. Then we have a global variables. The global variables is different compared to the other programming languages. In what we will do in other programming languages, once we will declare a variable outside the main, that is global variable, that can be used in entire program. So you're not like that. The global variables are the special variables in Solidity. Okay, so the special variables exists in the global namespace and it can be used to get the information about the blockchain. So if you want to get the information about the blockchain, like which is the block number, what is the current hash, what is the current difficulty target, what is the nonce value, so all the details, so the information about the blockchain, so we can get it by using some global variables. Here, let me demonstrate how the state variables can be used in Solidity. So I said state variable can be defined in the contract scope. So like here is the Solidity program to demonstrate state variables. Okay, so like we have a pragma statement. Okay, so which instructs the compiler, Solidity compiler, that which version we are going to use. That is Solidity version 0.5.0. Then we have defined a contract. The contract name is Solidity test. So within the contract, so we have a variable declaration. So if you are declaring the variables after the contract, this is the state variable, right? So which we have defined in the contract space. Like we have defined the variable stored data. The data type of that is unsigned integer. Okay, so after the variable declaration, so we have a function. Yes, we have declared the state variable. The state variable name is stored data, which belongs to the data type called unsigned integer. Then we have a function solidity test. Okay, so this is a constructor here. Okay, so the constructor, you can see that the constructor, it will be having same name that of the contract name. So that is solidity test. With help of the constructor, we have initialized the state variable. Here we have a state variable stored data that is initialized with 10. Okay, so this is one of the simple solidity programming code in order to demonstrate the state variable. So here you can see the local variable. How we have to use the local variables? I said local variables can be exist within the function. Okay, so within the function we can write the local variables. Okay, so for that we have one solidity programming, like we have written the pragma statement. So we have defined the contract name solidity test. The state variable we have declared like stored data, and the constructor we have used, and we have initialized stored data to 10. So here is the local variable concept. Here we are going to write the function with the function keyword, and the function definition, you can see the name of the function is get result, and the access modifier public. The function type is view, which returns unsigned integer. Okay, so within the function we are going to use the local variables. So now a is equal to 1. We have declared the variable b and it is initialized to 2, and one more variable like result in order to perform the sum a plus b. Okay, so all the variables which belongs to the unsigned integer. So then we are trying to write the results. Okay, so these are the local variables. Now a is local variable, b and result. So here is the slide in order to indicate the global variables. So I said global variables are the special variables. It will be having some fixed purpose. Okay. So these global variables are used to get the information about the blockchain. So like we have block dot difficulty. That one you can see. So block dot difficulty which returns unsigned integer. So like which gives the current block difficulty. Like what is the difficulty target of a particular block. If you want to know that, so you can use this global variable like block dot difficulty. So which returns unsigned integer, that is current block difficulty. Similarly, we have one more global variable block dot gas limit. Okay, which returns unsigned integer, which gives the current block gas limit. Okay, similarly we have block dot number unsigned integer, like which returns the unsigned integer for the block number. Then timestamp of the block, current timestamp, which gives the message dot sender, which gives the sender of the message. Like we have a different variables, special variables with respect to the blockchain. So these special variables can be used in order to get the information about the blockchain, right? Then we will discuss the scope. Solidity variables will be having a different scope. So here you need to understand scope of a local variable is limited to function, so in which they are defined. We cannot use the local variables everywhere, so we can use the local variables within the function only. But state variables can have different types of scopes. So like we have three scopes here: public, internal and private. So when we have declared the variables as well as functions as a public, that can be used both externally and internally, that is public. Now here variable scope we have internal. So what is meant by the internal scope? The internal variables or the functions can only be used internally or by derived contracts. So here we can use the variables within the contract or in by the derived contracts, that is possible. Then we have one more variable scope like private. So here private members or functions can only be used internally, and even we cannot be used in derived contracts. That is about private scope. Okay, so let me demonstrate one example. Okay, so like how to use the different variables. Okay, so you can see this slide. Yeah, here we can see the slide. This program Solidity programming is used to demonstrate the scope of variables. Okay, so here we have a contract. The contract name is C. After that, we have a data. So this is the state variable, right? So the scope is public, so it can be used anywhere in the contract, smart contract. The data is initialized to 30. Then we have internal access specifier. We have a variable called idata. So this idata is the scope of the idata is internal and it is initialized to 10. Then in the contract C we have a function called x. Okay, so here we are trying to access the data. Okay, so this is called internal access. Previously it was initialized with 30. Now we have accessed that data and we are trying to change it. Okay, so data is equal to 3. So now we are accessing that variable, that is internal access. Okay, so then you can see that contract color. So we are trying to write one more contract. The contract name is color. Okay, so for that, within that we are creating a object for the contract called C. So here contract name, object name is equal to new contract name. It's similar to creating a syntax in Java. So we are going to create a object, that is small c. Okay, so in the contract color we are define the function f. Okay, so there we are trying to access the data, c dot data. So we have created the object, that is c dot data. So the data belongs to the contract c, that one we are trying to access. This is called external access. Okay, so then we are going to define one more contract. The contract D is C. Okay, so you can see that we can extend the contracts. So here in Solidity, inheritance also possible, like creating a new class from already existing class, that is inheritance. Here we are going to use a keyword is. Okay, is keyword is used to achieve the inheritance in Solidity programming. Now we are defining a contract D, so which inherits the properties of C. Okay, D is C, like that. So after that we are defining a function called Y. Okay, so after that we are trying to use the variable idata, so that we have defined as the internal. Okay, so the idata can be used because it can be used internally as well as in derived contracts as per our definition. So like we can use the idata. So this is the internal access. Idata is equal to 3. Okay, so then one more function we have, like get result. Okay, so here we have a local variables, j is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and result a plus b. So like that. So this is one of the smart contract. It can be used to illustrate the different scope of the variable. Okay, so here we have used the scope of the variable, like we have used the public, internal, as well as private. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. In the next tutorial I'm going to teach like what are the solidity arrays and structures. Thank you so much.